Do you ever feel like no matter how hard you try, life just keeps repeating the same cycle? I've been there. A few years ago, I was stuck in a loop of negative thoughts, procrastination, and self-doubt. I felt like I was watching my life pass by without really living it. One day, I decided that enough was enough. I couldn't keep blaming circumstances, other people, or my past. I had to change. From the inside out. It wasn't an overnight transformation. It took small, consistent changes in my daily habits. But over time, these habits completely reshaped the way I think, the way I approach challenges, and even how I see myself. Today, I want to share the 7 habits that changed my mindset, the habits that helped me go from feeling stuck to living with purpose, confidence, and clarity. And if you adopt even a few of these habits, I promise your mindset will start shifting too. Habit 1: Journaling. I never thought writing in a notebook could change my life. Honestly, I thought journaling was just for kids or people with too much free time. But one night, after a particularly rough day, I decided to just write down everything that was on my mind. My worries, my fears, even my small wins. At first, it felt awkward. My thoughts were messy, and I couldn't make sense of them. But slowly, I realized that writing gave me clarity. It helped me see patterns in my thinking. I noticed when I was sabotaging myself or overthinking situations unnecessarily. Journaling taught me that my mind wasn't my enemy. It was just noisy. And by putting my thoughts on paper, I could control them instead of letting them control me. This habit alone started shifting my mindset from reactive to reflective. I could handle challenges without panic and make decisions without being clouded by emotion. Habit 2: Morning routine. Before I discovered the power of a morning routine, my days were chaotic. I'd wake up late, scroll through my phone for hours, and start work feeling behind before it even began. I never realized how much starting your day intentionally can change everything. I started small, just 10 minutes of stretching, 5 minutes of meditation, and a glass of water. Slowly, I added a habit of reading a few pages of a motivational book. At first, it felt almost meaningless. But after a few weeks, I noticed a huge shift. I felt more energized, more focused, and more in control of my day. The morning routine isn't about waking up at 5 a.m. or being super productive. It's about creating your own mental space, your safe zone before the chaos of the day begins. It set the tone for positivity, clarity, and intention, something I had never experienced before. Habit 3: Mindful gratitude. Gratitude sounds cliché, but it's a game changer. I used to focus on what I didn't have, what went wrong, what I lacked, and what others had that I didn't. That mindset kept me in a loop of envy and negativity. One day, I started a simple habit. Each night, I wrote down 3 things I was grateful for. Not big things. Sometimes just a hot cup of coffee, a smile from a stranger, or a productive meeting. At first, it felt forced, but gradually, my brain started noticing the good things naturally. Gratitude rewired my mind to see opportunity instead of limitation, positivity instead of frustration. It gave me a new lens, a lens where challenges were lessons, failures were growth, and life itself became more enjoyable. Habit 4: Reading and learning daily. Before this habit, I rarely read anything beyond social media or news headlines. I thought learning was only for school or work. But reading, even 15 minutes a day, changed everything. I remember discovering a book about mindset that literally flipped my perspective. Every day, I learned something new. How successful people think, how habits form, and how to handle failure. These small doses of knowledge accumulated into massive mindset shifts. Learning became addictive. I started seeing the world differently. Instead of problems, I saw challenges. Instead of criticism, I saw feedback. And instead of fear, I saw opportunity. The more I fed my mind, the stronger and sharper it became. Habit 5: Surrounding yourself with positivity. My environment shaped me more than I realized. For years, I surrounded myself with negative, cynical people. Slowly, I absorbed their mindset, doubt, fear, and lack of ambition. I made a conscious decision to change that. I started spending time with people who inspired me, challenged me, and believed in growth. I joined online communities, attended workshops, and reconnected with friends who lifted me up instead of dragging me down. The people around you influence your thinking more than you know. When you surround yourself with positivity, motivation, and ambition, it becomes contagious. My mindset shifted from one of scarcity and fear to one of abundance and courage. Habit 6. Physical movement. Mindset isn't just mental, it's physical. I used to ignore my body, sit all day, and feel sluggish. Then I started walking 20 minutes a day, and eventually added workouts. Physical movement wasn't just about health. It cleared my mind, boosted energy, and built discipline. Every time I finished a workout, I felt capable, like I could take on the world. Small victories in physical habits translated to bigger victories in mental resilience. This habit taught me that mind and body are deeply connected. A strong body supports a strong mindset, and movement became a cornerstone of my mental clarity and confidence. Habit 7. Reflecting and adjusting. Finally, I learned the habit of reflection. At the end of each week, I asked myself, what went well? What didn't? What can I improve? Initially, this was uncomfortable. I didn't want to face my mistakes or acknowledge failures. But reflection gave me power. I stopped repeating the same mistakes, learned from my experiences, and celebrated small wins. Adjusting my actions based on reflection transformed my mindset from passive to proactive. Life became a series of conscious choices instead of random events happening to me. These 7 habits didn't just change my mindset, they changed my life. Journaling gave me clarity. My morning routine gave me focus. Gratitude gave me joy. Reading gave me knowledge. Positivity gave me inspiration. Movement gave me energy. And reflection gave me growth. The best part? You don't need to adopt all habits at once. Start small. Pick one habit and commit to it. Even a tiny change compounds over time. If you start practicing just a few of these habits consistently, I promise your mindset will shift. You'll handle challenges better, feel more confident, and start living intentionally instead of reacting to life. So, which habit will you start with today? Remember, the journey of transformation begins with a single step, and your mindset is the compass guiding you to a better life.